Coming up this month, 3x3 basketball hits Abu Dhabi, and we're on hand to capture all the excitement. We also take an inside look at the upcoming Abu Dhabi Tour. We speak to Pakistani fast bowler Wahab Riaz about his career, and we travel to the UK to look at developments in Arabian horse racing. Closer to home, we visit the Abu Dhabi Sports Festival, take a look at the risky sport of high diving, and we meet a rising star of UAE football. 3x3 basketball is now one of the world's most popular urban sports. The format, long played in streets and gyms across the world, began to become standardized in the late 1980s. Since then, the number of 3x3 events and competitions has been steadily growing around the world, to the point where the International Basketball Federation aims to have the sport included in the Olympic Games. For the second year in a row, some of the best teams, players and entertainers on the planet were part of Abu Dhabi 3x3 Challenger, the qualifying tournament for the FIBA 3x3 World Tour.
My name is S01. I'm coming from Serbia. Right now I'm number 1 ranking player in the FIBA ranking list. I'm professional street bowler or professional FIBA trick player. This is Abu Dhabi Challenger. Basically 12 teams will be competing for the main prize, that is qualification for Japan World Tour. You have an Abu Dhabi All-Star team that is led by ex-NBA player Dante Green. You have 2 more teams that are from Slovenia. 1 team are ex-FIBA World Tour champions.
With a total of 16 teams from 11 countries competing in the tournament, the event reflected the global popularity of the sport and the pull of Abu Dhabi to the world's best sports stars.
Dante Green, a professional basketball player here in UAE, playing for UAE All-Stars for the World Championship. We're playing a team from Oman, very talented team, so we're just trying to keep the ball moving, make sure that people on their toes playing defense and be aggressive and hopefully come out with the win.
My name is Stefan Ristic. I'm from Team Monsters from Belgrade, and I play shooting guard. I'm competing in the Abu Dhabi Challenger, basically all the best teams in Europe. I like the pace, it's dynamic, it's tougher than 5-on-5. I'm excited to be here.
8 players from the top 10 FIBA 3x3 World Tour rankings were present, including world number 1, Dusan Domovic Bullet.
I do some stupid problems in a backyard, and I was like full of energy jumping around the house, and I was telling my dad I want to start to do this. He applied me for some basketball school, and immediately I fell in love.
With the prize of the World Tour on the line, the competition was fierce, and after some high-tempo matches, it was left to Novi Sad Al Wada and Ljubljana to fight it out for the title. Led by Dusan, Novi Sad Al Wada powered their way to victory and qualified to compete at the 3x3 World Finals in Abu Dhabi on the 27th and 28th of October.
You're watching Inside Sport Abu Dhabi.
In June 2016, the Abu Dhabi Sports Festival opened for the first time. A groundbreaking initiative in the nation's capital, with the goal of getting the general public involved in sport during the exceptionally hot months of a UAE summer.
Abu Dhabi Sport Festival is mainly a new initiatives which were produced by Abu Dhabi Sport Council and the other partners which have participated with us, like ADNIC, like Abu Dhabi Officers Club, like Yas Marine Circuit.
Held at the Abu Dhabi National Exhibition Centre, the main part of the festival brought 13 of the UAE's most popular sports under one roof, whilst also running selected sports events at different locations across the city.
It's a reason that you will take your family, you will take your children to somewhere where they can still or stay active.
With temperatures outside regularly reaching 45 degrees Celsius, trying to stay fit during the summer months has always been an endurance event in itself.
You get used to like, okay, it's summer, so I'm just going to go to a mall, I'm just going to go to a restaurant. I think it's a very good idea to have it in summer because it motivates people to do something different.
The Abu Dhabi Sports Festival was designed to encourage people from all walks of life to beat the heat, exercise and stay healthy.
If you would like to play football, it is for football. If you'd like to play basketball, you can play it. If you like badminton, tennis. If you want to only run to raise your fitness, there is a place for that.
When I heard that this was coming on, I reacted very quickly and wanting to be a part of the operation that was going on here. For me, coming from New Zealand, you wouldn't see this type of indoor facility in New Zealand, and everyone talks about us as a sporting nation.
It was important that the festival appealed to serious athletes and amateurs alike. So organisers, the Abu Dhabi Sports Council, devoted plenty of time to making sure the venue was up there with some of the best air-conditioned sports facilities in the world.
Abu Dhabi Sports Council said we want to be high standard. They brought everything, the backstop, the flooring, the setup. They are the one who's doing all the job.
The grounds are brilliant. We're able to wear studs out here. Everything about this place at the moment is incredible.
It was the public who really brought the festival to life, and their enthusiasm for the myriad of sports on offer was reflected in the mix of nationalities taking part.
Judo,
boxing, cycling,
rugby,
badminton, Muay Thai,
basketball.
This is the first time in a year that I actually don't go to a mall. Instead, I leave my house and my work and go cycle or go run.
After the success of this year's festival, we can be sure that in 2017, the event will continue to go from strength to strength.
Abu Dhabi Sport Festival mainly concentrate on having the sport as a lifestyle directly on the ground for the people. This is the first year. It's a new initiative, but at the same time, we would like it to be maintained, to be sustained during the next years, and to let people feel that really we did give them something which they will like.
It's an amazing facility. So long as they let me come down, I'll keep coming down.
Still to come in part 2, we meet Pakistani fast bowler Wahab Riaz. We take a closer look at the upcoming Abu Dhabi Tour, and we go horse racing in the UK at the president of the UAE Cup Series. The Pakistani cricket team has long been known for producing high-quality fast bowlers. From Waqar Younis to Shoaib Akhtar, the list goes on. To that list, you can now add the name of Wahab Riaz. The left-arm quick from Lahore has been clocked at 154.5 kilometres per hour, putting him up there with some of the fastest bowlers in the world.
Obviously, my inspiration was Wasim Akram, Waqar Younis, Aqib Javed. Been watching these guys as a young child. I always had that bat and ball in my hand and trying to copy those guys. And suddenly, my passion bring me to this form back now.
The Pakistan side has long been the home for mercurial talent. And in 2008, Riaz came into the first team. The honour he's felt whilst representing his country has constantly driven him to push for more and more success.
The best thing to play cricket as a professional is that I'm playing for my country, and I'm trying to give whatever I have for my country, because this country has given me so much, and there is only a way to give it back to my country.
The workload imposed on modern-day fast bowlers is huge, especially with the relentless nature of international cricket. A fast bowler has to perform under pressure each time they step to their mark.
It's all about your fitness, basically. It's not an easy job. You have to run like 20 meters from your run-up, and you have to come and bowl fast. And you need a lot of fitness, and you need a lot of skills, the way cricket is being played nowadays. So I think the hardest part is that you have to perform each and every day.
However, Wahab knows that when a fast bowler is on form, it can be impossible for a batsman to deal with.
Fast bowling is all about the rhythm. If things are going really well as a fast bowler for you, the way you get your start, the ball comes out of your hand, it lands on the perfect area, bowling really fast, and you're bowling with a pace of like 150 kilometers an hour. Fast bowlers are basically known as the baddest bowlers. So you know that it comes to the mind, now that's the time when we have to attack. And it depends on the nature and the aggression of the bowler, that how much aggressive he is, how he wants to cope with the pressure, how he wants to bowl. I get very aggressive when I see all that stuff, and it really tries to make me bowl as fast as I could.
With Pakistan now playing all their home games in the UAE, the players have to adapt to new surroundings.
It's always good. It feels like a hometown now, especially the way we have been playing our cricket here from last 5 years or so. So now we are quite used to all this place, and it's a wonderful place to come. You get your holidays as well as you play cricket for Pakistan.
The UAE has also been home to some of Wahab's best performances.
The best series I've played in UAE is the series against England last year. I think that was a wonderful achievement from us, and We tried our level best, and it was a very tough series, and we won the test matches, so I think that was a great achievement.
For a long time, the Pakistan team have flattered to deceive. And there have been rumours that the squad has not always been fully focused on cricket.
Oh, that's a brilliant catch. You were just talking about their fielding.
Now a corner seems to have been turned. And after an impressive series in England, the team looks fit and focused and ready to take on anyone.
Why have Pakistan? Because I think the kind of capability all of us have, all the players, the way they've been performing, and they are eager to perform. That's the thing which is really making us win, and I think that's the hunger basically, which is among us, all us guys, that we need to win and we have to do it for our country.
Being part of a successful winning side has allowed Wahab to focus on the future and how he'd like to inspire future generations of Pakistani cricketers.
I want to achieve a name in cricket like everybody has done in the past, like Wasim Akram, Imran Khan. They inspired me a lot, so I wanted to leave it a mark that the young generation which is coming right now, they see us, they watch us, we can motivate them to play cricket for Pakistan. So I just want to end up on a good note where these guys have finished, so at least in future I can heard that it's just because of you I have started playing cricket.
The Abu Dhabi Striders are the most popular running group in Abu Dhabi, welcoming runners of all abilities who share a common goal to improve their fitness and live a happier, healthier lifestyle.
Abu Dhabi Striders are a group of like-minded individuals that come together for group running. It's community-based, so it's free.
Established in 1984, the Striders have been running continuously 52 weeks a year throughout winter and summer.
Running keeps you fit, running keeps you active.
From the time I started running, I was 68 kilos and now I am 57.
After the run, you're so happy. It relieves all the stress.
The feeling of those endorphins is a natural high.
It's definitely good for your mental state as well as your physical.
You've got people here who can run 100 miles and you've got people here like me who can run 5-10 kilometres.
Trying to inspire the children to have a fit and healthy lifestyle.
If you're thinking about running and you're not sure, then just come along to an Abu Dhabi Striders session and I'm sure that you'll find you've found a new love. There's no membership, there's no subscription. If you want to come and run with us, whatever level of ability you have, please just come along. You're very welcome.
In September, some of the biggest names in cycling gathered in the UAE capital to announce the route of the upcoming Abu Dhabi Tour. The Tour will see 18 teams competing in the four-stage 555-kilometre race, with stars including Bradley Wiggins, Mark Cavendish, Vincenzo Nibali and Alberto Contador.
Well, it's a very challenging race, partly because of the heat, partly because of the terrain. The mixture of stages last year was very good in that there were some flatter stages that would suit the sprinters and the bigger, heavier riders, and there was 1 or 2 hilly stages which suited the climbers as well.
Tour ambassador Mark Cavendish is hoping he can put the disappointment of not making last year's race due to injury behind him.
I tore my shoulder ligaments and I was devastated. But yeah, if I stay healthy, I can come. Yeah, I'd like to win a few stages here. It's going to be difficult for me to win the overall because of the mountaintop finish at Jebel Afid, but to win stages is very doable.
Cavendish believes that the Abu Dhabi Tour is a unique event in the cycling calendar.
The setup of the race, the way it runs, obviously most tours, you start in one place, we finish in another town. Here, there's a central base for the race, and that's at the Yas Marina circuit. It's pretty spectacular, not just for the close of a bike race, but it's the close of the whole cycling season, you know, so to have that under like floodlit conditions, it's pretty special.
It was also recently announced that the 3rd edition of the Abu Dhabi Tour, which will take place in February next year, will be the first time it will be part of the UCI World Tour. The upgrade to Elite World Tour status represents a remarkably swift rise.
يوم تم الإعلان عن أن السباق تم ترقية الفيض أنه يكون في التصنيف الأول، قادرين إن شاء الله خلال السنة القادمة أن ندخل في الجولة العالمية الورلد تور، وبالتأكيد هذا كله من خلال الثقة الكبيرة اللي أولانا إياها الأخوة في الاتحاد الدولي.
The tour has already had an impact in the UAE, with a rise in the amount of cycling taking place within the community. And as well as playing a key part in inspiring the next generation of cycling stars, it's also helping in other ways.
رياض الدراجات بدأت تكبر بشكل ملاحظ بعد ممارسة
عامة الشعب وقاداتنا في هذه الرياضة. الشعور جدا بالفخر أن حكومة أبو ظبي ودولة الإمارات بشكل عام ينظمون سباق كبير مثل هذا ويسمح لنا احنا بالمشاركة، وإن شاء الله نحرز نتائج طيبة في المقدمة.
With the best cycling stars in the world arriving in October, the Abu Dhabi Tour is a must for all sports lovers. Coming up in part 3, we meet a young football star aiming for the top. We're in the UK to find out more about Arabian horse racing, and we hear from the men who jump off 27-metre high platforms for a living. In September this year, Arabian horse racing made a welcome return to the UK for the president of the UAE Cup Series. Held at the Doncaster Racecourse, the event was part of the prestigious St Leger Stakes group of races.
Today's an important day on the roster internationally because the president of the UAE Cup is coming off a hiatus, and this is our big race day in the UK.
Sponsored by the Abu Dhabi Sports Council, the race brought to Doncaster an international field of horses and jockeys.
It's not only important for Dhabi Sport Council, it's important for everybody around the world.
We started in Egypt, but the Group 1 and Group 2 races started also in Holland, Belgium. We will go to Churchill Down and ends up with Morocco. We here promote the President Cup and Abu Dhabi so that we can communicate with different nationality and different region.
With 8 Arabian purebred horses racing, the event was part of a bigger plan to develop a world-class breeding program of Arabian purebreds.
The Abu Dhabi Sports Council have been amazing because they've come back with the idea of restarting the program, which was very successful previously, but they'd like to take it to a higher level.
That's why Abu Dhabi Sports Council consider horse racing, and especially Arabian horse racing, give more promotion about Abu Dhabi and the United Arab Emirates, but also to make a lot of the care of the Arabian horse.
The Arabian is one of the most easily recognizable horse breeds in the world. It's also one of the oldest breeds, with evidence of Arabian horses in the Middle East as far back as 4,500 years ago.
Well, the amazing thing about the purebred Arabians is that we watch modern-day thoroughbred racing. We remember that all those horses descended from the 3 original Arabian horses. And now you're starting to see, with the development of Arabian racing, they're starting to develop the traits that their cousins have. They're bigger, faster, thicker boned. Their stamina has always been unquestionable, but they're just getting to be a bigger horse in general, and starting to look more and more like the thoroughbreds that we see today.
They've got a lot more character. I just love racing the Arabians.
Today, Arabian bloodlines are found in almost every modern breed of racehorse.
Well, obviously they're a bit slower than the thoroughbreds, but they tend to have a little bit more character, a bit more spirit, so they're a bit more challenging to train, I would say. They think a bit more than the thoroughbreds, so yeah, on the whole, probably a bit more difficult to train.
The training is completely different. So you don't need to train like English horses. More a little bit slow, and after it gives you a good thing.
It's a pleasure to see them growing up. They grow up in France, and after a while I bring them back to Holland, and then you start to break them in and train them. And I train them on the beach. It's a wonderful place, and it's wonderful to race them. I want to thank the Emirates, for being so generous. It's great what they are doing, because they make sure that the racing business is going on. It's very important, I think, because it will develop the breeding and it will develop more races.
With the continued support from the Abu Dhabi Sports Council, Arabian horse racing looks like it will continue to flourish. UAE football is on the rise. The next generation of stars are being produced, with world-class coaches leading the development of driven youngsters destined for the top.
أنا لاعبة روان عبد الله راشد أحمد حمادي، لاعبة كرة قدم تحت 14 سنة، ألعب مركز راس حربة.
Rawan Hamadi is one such talent. The 14-year-old from Abu Dhabi has all the skills and dedication needed to make it to the very top.
Rawan Hamadi, she's one of the best players playing as a midfielder. She listens well, she's very smart, she can do whatever you ask her to do.
وأنا صغيرة كنت أتابع ميسي وهو صغير، كنت أتابع نيمار، وقلت ليش ما أستوي نفسهم. حبيت هالفوتبول، لعبة وايد سهلة حبيتها وايد وهذه وراثة طبعا كل أهلي يلعبونها وقلت خلنا استمر بها وأشوف وخلنا أكمل من مستقبلي.
With players like Rawan in the pipeline pushing for the top, it won't be long before UAE Women's Football makes a name for itself.
إن شاء الله بكون أكبر كابتن وأدرب أحسن فريق ونسوي بطولات وإن شاء الله ناخذ المركز الأول وهذه هي مستقبلي إن شاء الله.
In 2017, Abu Dhabi is anticipating the return of one of the most dangerous sports in the world. Earlier this year, the best high divers on the planet descended on Abu Dhabi to take part in the FIBA World High Diving Championships. For fans of this extreme sport, it's a spectacle that just cannot be missed. But what's it like to jump from 27 metres?
It's like the equivalent of the ninth story. You know, go to a high-rise building, have a look down, and you might understand what we do.
We are a little bit crazy, yeah. I think you have to be a little bit, and you sort of have to embrace that as well with this sport.
You do go through a lot of different emotions, fear being the most prominent one, really. Adrenaline, excitement, worry. You get really anxious as well because you kind of want the dive to be over before it's even started. You go through absolute hell on the platform.
You just have to be 100% focused on the dive that you've got to do. You think about the times you've done it before and what mistakes you've made and trying to make those tiny corrections to make that perfect dive.
Once you jump off, you go through a real calming, flying, slow motion sensation.
It's only 3 seconds you're in the air, you know, so you got to make sure that once you jump, you have to know every step of what you're going to do those 3 seconds.
You really get hurt if you did something wrong, because we hit the water about 80 kilometers per hour, so it's like hitting something with concrete.
A lot of the dangers just come from the impact, the sheer force of the impact. A couple degrees off vertical on the entry and you're gonna feel pretty sore the next day. Anything, you know, more than maybe 15 degrees or something, you're gonna be really sore.
If you go a little bit over, it really hurts. And if you go a little bit short, it really hurts.
Not massage, it's bait.
The danger is land vertical or else.
Well, that's it for this month. Join us next time for more sporting action from Abu Dhabi, the home of sport.